being given to politics right now. And there is a lot of social media feeds that are being filled right now with ideas about going to vote and who you should vote for and who's a great candidate and who's not a great candidate and who's evil and who's good, who's godly, who's of the devil, all of those things. And of course, these are very polarizing ideas. So, of course, the language from a lot of public figures is very vague. It's just go vote, let your voice be heard. We've got to vote, as if our ultimate hope is in a political system. Obviously, I believe that there's a difference between hope and ultimate hope. There is a difference between peace and ultimate peace. There is a difference between justice and ultimate justice. And so we can vote on a base level to try and create the best environment that we can here while we are on planet Earth. But ultimate hope is found in Jesus, not just in the version of Jesus that we have been handed, but in the biblical identity and expression of who Jesus is. So first, we need to understand that we cannot get ultimate hope from a politician. We cannot get ultimate peace from a politician. We cannot get ultimate justice from a politician. We are just making the best out of what we are living in. And that is all that we can hope for in this. But as you see political messages from artists and creatives and entertainers and personalities and influencers, I just hope that we don't go to the polls within our cities, states, and ultimately for our nation only with what has been pushed as trendy, or the names that have been most popularized on television or in Snapchat feeds or on Instagram, or maybe even the people who you love, listening to their music or watching their movies or reading their books, just because they're advocating toward a party or toward a particular candidate. We have the responsibility to do our own research, and research does not just include what we see on the news. We have to go deeper than that to understand who these people are that we are putting into place, and more importantly, the policies that they have built their political careers on. So it's important to go back and look through the candidates, whether they are popular or unpopular, and see who the person that most aligns, whose policies most align with your value system, and you vote on your value system. Now, I will say, the supreme value that there is within humanity is human beings. There is a premium on human life. And I think we have to be very careful when we allow the premium that we place on the quality of life is higher than the premium we place on life itself. There is a distinction, there is a difference, and it's important to realize. And you'll hear a lot of people, they'll down people who will vote for a candidate who is pro-life because they only look at that singular issue of them being pro-life, and they will say that's all you care about. And I don't think that is all we should care about as we are investigating the policies of the politicians that are being put in place. But the reason For me personally, this is my personal opinion. And people are welcome to disagree with it. You are welcome to disagree. I invite you to disagree with me. It's okay. You can disagree with me and I can still love you. That's all right. I've gone way past that. I love tons of people that I disagree with their stances on things. But I have to say, the reason why life is a premium issue, a supreme issue, a determining factor issue, is because the supreme value has to be placed on human life. Because nothing else matters beyond that if we do not first value the existence of human beings. What does the quality of life matter for a person who never gets the opportunity to live? That's my point. What does the quality of life matter to a person who never gets to live? So yes, in my opinion, taxes and education reform and healthcare reform and prison reform are major issues. But they are secondary issues to the value of human life. So go and investigate the people that you are seeing in your Instagram feeds and in your Snapchat and on Quibi and on Facebook, and all of these people who are algorithmically placed in front of us, and do your research. Whether you are Republican, Democrat, Independent, irrelevant to me. I'm going to see all y'all in heaven. I'm going to see Democrats, Republicans, Independents, obviously people from other countries who don't care anything about the American political system. I'm going to see all of y'all, every tribe, every tongue, every nation. I'm seeing all y'all in heaven. Everyone who has called on Jesus, invested their trust in him, walks in covenant with him, carries his covenant name. I'm going to see all y'all. Your political stance makes no difference on that. But as you are exercising your right as an American, you also have the right to investigate. You have the right to think for yourself. You do not have to think within the isolation of a religious community, within the isolation of a ethnic community, within the isolation of your family ideas and values and what your parents think you should do and all of that. But please do not be driven by a pop culture agenda. Paul warns us like this. He says, be not conformed to the patterns of this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. The Message version says, don't go along in the world and just fit in. Don't mindlessly consume the culture, but be a Christ-minded influencer of culture and be aware enough to critique the culture, to stand separate from it and analyze it, not with a critical spirit, but with a critical eye. And I think if you put these things into practice, we can exercise our rights as Americans to make America better for everyone. Please remember, God is not an American. Jesus would make a terrible president because he does not care about one country being more successful than another one. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever would believe in him would not perish but have everlasting life. So America is not just for Christians. Heaven is. And I'm going to talk to you guys more about that in another medium that I'm introducing in October. But until then, I hope you consider these thoughts today. I hope that you feel the love, the kindness, and the humility in which I'm speaking. And if you don't agree with me, I still love you. God bless you.